You are probably producing content right now that is doing absolutely nothing for your business and your pipeline, and you probably have no idea why. Now, I've built GTM content engines for B2B founders, SaaS teams, GTMEs, RevOps, and so much more. And every single time we bring in a client, we see the exact same pattern. They're great people, they're great offer, but there's zero content infrastructure holding it together. So in this video, you're going to see me revealing the entire 8-stage framework we use to build B2B content marketing strategies from zero, or how to fix a current broken one. The framework I'm about to show you is repeatable and scalable regardless of what you sell or who you sell it to. So let's get into it. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the 8 stages that we're going to get into today in terms of building that complete GTM B2B content ecosystem, specifically on YouTube. And obviously 7 and 8 is what's going to unify the whole thing. But the stages prior to that, which we're going to get into, which are these ones, this is what helps influence it and direct it much more than your competitors are doing. They're not even doing this by a landslide. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So the first stage, we'll get into it right away, is ICP mapping. If you think you know your ICP, and that consists of company headcount, revenue size, maybe geographical region, did they get funding? Great. You know how to use filters. We got that out of the way. That's not a real ICP. A real ICP, and why we map an ICP at the beginning, is these 4 specific things. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these help us influence and direct the content strategy accordingly. First and foremost is pain points. Do you understand what keeps your prospect up at night? What are they struggling with in their business? Not just, oh, they need more money or they need more leads. Great. What does that look like and manifest day to day? Are they skipping lunch because they're always on sales calls? Are they managing a team because their operations are on fire? Do they continually get bad hires because they have no recruitment process? What does that look like at a deeper pain point level? We get into that with a lot of our clients, and even when we do our own content, we understand this at such a psychological level. Number 2 is limiting beliefs. So these are things that your prospect psychologically deals with that inhibit their growth. Why they can't get to the next stage of business, why they can't get the specific result in business, and what's hindering them. So the limiting beliefs is huge to psychologically, again, understand that prospect. Number 3 is common objections. You know this time and time again. If you're in founder-led sales or if you manage a team of SDRs or AEs, have a conversation with them to see what are the common things you guys are hearing on a daily basis that is preventing you from getting a deal. If a lot of prospects are coming onto your calls saying the same objections, you need to address that before the call. If you can do that before the call, you don't have to answer that time and time again because your video addressed it. They're not even going to bring that to the call because you've already addressed it. And your content can do that, which is why it's important that we sit down with the sales team and the founder to understand what are the common objections we're getting. Okay, it gets me so excited. Number 4, this is the dream state. So what does your prospect look like after they work with you? Is it more leads? Is it better operations? Is it better teammates and recruitment processes? And is it more consistent revenue, more consistent pipeline? And then go a layer deeper. So not only what do they get business-wise, but what do they get? Look right here, emotionally. What do they get emotionally? Is it peace of mind? Is it the fact that they can exit their company and really live the life that they want? What does that deeper dream state look like aside from the businesses? Now, we get all of this. We just have a 1-hour call with our founder friends or founder clients or their sales team, and we just have a good conversation about this ICP. So we map all 4 stages, and then we use our custom AI models to extrapolate on that. So we don't just put bullet points and we run off that. No, we use AI to extrapolate and get a deep narrative of the pain, of the limiting beliefs, of the common objections in the dream state. So we know where your prospect is today and where they need to end up and what they need to overcome to do that. So this is a huge thing that we sit down and get right from the beginning. Because if you don't do this properly, you don't articulate who you're actually speaking to, your content's going to fall on deaf ears. I've made this mistake. I've made content for the wrong audience for months at a time. And not only is that wasted budget, it's wasted time, it's wasted revenue, it's lost revenue, and it's like a kick in the heart because you did all this hard work and it wasn't for the right person. Get it right from the start and really sit down and spend at least 1 hour to map this out. And if you use AI, you could probably do it a little bit faster. But we like to use a mix of both because you guys are on the ground level. Founders and sales teams are on the ground level. Sometimes AI can't pick on the nuance of your business. Map it out, extrapolate with AI. Okay, that's step 1. Then let's get into step 2. This is where we call offer messaging and conversion funnel refinement. It's a mouthful, but I'm going to tell you why in 3 parts. This is so incredibly crucial. We ruthlessly audit and clarify and unify the offer for the business, because I've made this mistake as well. We'll have offer number 1 on the landing page, but in the marketing, we're saying something completely different. Now, what that does is induce or it encourages cognitive friction for your prospect. So as they go from here, what they heard on YouTube, to the business offer, they're going to drop. They're going to drop here because they don't even want to make it to the landing page because this is disconnected. But if you got these two solid, if you're saying something in the video topic, the business offer is in alignment with the video topic, okay, great, that's connected. However, when they get to the landing page, if your landing page got something different, they're going to break here. So this is a unified message that we want to articulate really solidly. What are we saying in content? How are we showing up? Then what you need to do is understand, okay, what we're saying here, does this relate to our business offer? Can we naturally transition from this problem to the dream state with our service offering as that natural bridge? If yes, great. Now we've connected 1 and 2. Then go to your website. After somebody discovers you here on YouTube and then they go to your website, are they seeing the same thing as they did in YouTube? This is what we do with a lot of thumbnails. If our thumbnail and video title says one thing, and then we get into the video, and then the promise right at the beginning of the video is not what we said in the thumbnail and video, people drop off. And we see the retention up here on the top left. The retention goes like this. It starts high and then goes low because right here people say, this isn't the video I wanted to click on. You said something different, and now you're promising me all this other stuff. I don't want that. So understand that front-facing messaging on YouTube. What are you saying? How do you want to say it? What's the language you're using? Does it relate to your business offer? Is it the same language in the business offer? And then boom, to the landing page as well. There needs to be a consistent through line here. All the way from step 1 to 3. I want you to hammer this home. Your offer and your message should be all in alignment with your funnel. So that way it converts. That way it converts like hotcakes. It needs to be unified. Okay, so keep in mind, we have not even made content yet. We're just brainstorming here and getting a deep understanding of the ICP, then of the offer and the messaging and making sure it's unified. All right, let's get into number 3, credibility engine. This is so huge, especially for B2B. If you're running an entertainment channel or something else on YouTube where you're just going for clicks and views, great. However, when we use this credibility engine correctly, you can get 15 views on a video, but book calls on it because you're showcasing your credibility in a way that makes people want to work with you. And there's 3 ways we build this credibility engine. We understand your case studies. What results have you gotten clients? Same thing over here, wins and results. What else have you gotten your clients and what wins? And then what projects or builds have you done? So as a great example for case studies, this could be somebody for like a RevOps or a GTME. How many qualified leads or pipeline did you bring into a specific business? Great, case study. However, for a SaaS, like we did a compliant SaaS client where they build custom solutions for people in pharmaceuticals as well as other compliance agencies, what are the actual builds that they made? So we're showcasing that in different ways for different audiences, for different angles. However, regardless of whatever industry you're in, do you have case studies? Do you have client wins and results? Or do you have projects and builds? Oh my gosh, great. You can naturally showcase this in your videos and immediately build social proof and trust. Because if you're saying, hey, we got clients, let's say $50,000 in pipeline in just the first month of cold email, and you showcase that, you have now, again, mapping back over here, you have now just showed your client there is a dream state that exists for somebody like your client who was previously in their pain point. See how they align now? Everything's a little bit connecting a little bit. This is huge for unifying your credibility engine. And then every month when we do this for ourselves and our clients, when we're making videos, we look at the topic at hand and say, do we have a case study or a client win or a project build that we can just quickly reference here at the beginning of the video? So if we're talking, let's say you're a GTME firm and you're talking about cold email infrastructure, you can say casually, it's like, that's what allows us to book $50,000 in pipeline for this specific client. And I'm going to show you how to do something like that in this video. You naturally and conversationally just call out a case study if you want to showcase the results and bring that into the video. You have now expedited and compressed the amount of time it takes for someone to trust you because you've showcased it in a way that's transparent and authentic and raw and real. Credibility engine. Do a deep dive, understand what are these things that you can repeatedly talk about and throw into your content. All right, let's keep it moving here. So stage 4, this is where we get exciting. This is where we get exciting. Establishing your marketing goals. It's good to start posting. I've done this before where you just post and we'll see what sticks, see what happens, and we'll build based off that. I like to have a little bit more of a strategy. I'm type A OCD to the max. So this is what I do, and this is what we do for all clients. This pyramid starts with the bottom, obviously, and goes to the top. And there's 4 different layers that we classify as marketing goals in an entire content marketing ecosystem. So you have this in the back of your mind as you build. So you're not just posting content, you can make sure it's aligned here. So at the bottom here is this AEO, GEO, SEO foundation. What most people don't understand, and they're obsessed with posting blogs and Reddit threads and all this other stuff for AEO, GEO. People forget that YouTube is like one of the biggest search engines in the world. Everything from your transcripts to your titles to your descriptions, they all get indexed in search, and these LLMs will pull from YouTube, especially Gemini. Who owns YouTube? Google. Like right there, it's slapping you in the face when your competitors are worried about blogs and Reddit, which again are important, absolutely. But if you come in with video and the same keywords that your prospects are searching for, what are they going to want to read? The blog or the video? How much more is that video going to transfer trust? Video is the way of the future. And if you can compound a GEO strategy with video at the same time, you do that unintentionally because you're building topics around these keywords and around your business. That's so huge for such a big foundation of content marketing. So in 3, 6, 12 months, your visibility compounds because YouTube videos get indexed and they come up anytime you want to search. So if you post a video 3 years ago, it can still bring in search traffic and still bring in leads because it's indexed under a proper GEO SEO foundation. We see that with our old videos that they still get views, they still get clicks, even if it was 8 months ago, which is why freshness is important. But at the same time, you've already put the foundation in place. So you don't have to work as hard as the months go on, which is really, really beautiful thing. The other thing too is founder-led brand. When you got your face on the screen versus your competitors who don't, in my opinion, I feel like you convert way better. When you see someone as a prospect, if you see someone who is talking on YouTube, you watch 5 or 6 videos with this person, and let's say you're still in founder-led sales, you hop onto a sales call, you've already done the warming. You've compressed that 4 or 5 call sales cycle down to 1 call because your videos acted as the other sales calls. So that's what's so beautiful about a founder-led brand. And then even still, if you're removing yourself and you have a team that handles your sales, you now have a face to the whole brand as a whole. If Hormozy, if somebody hops on a call with acquisition.com, let's just take it right to the max, and Alex Hormozy, you know that you've seen his content a million times, and you're now speaking with someone at acquisition.com, you're a warm lead. You are so warm, you're more likely to convert because you recognize Hormozy versus another acquisition company that maybe has no face to the brand. Huge. Number 3, sales enablement. This is where we're a little bit different in how we make a GTM content strategy or system. We don't make just how-to content or informational content. That's safe. That's boring. Nobody cares for that stuff. When your prospect is evaluating a $50,000, $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 buying decision, they don't want 5 cold email trends. They don't want best recruitment process. They don't want that. They want to understand where their objections lie. What are the limiting beliefs that they need to overcome? Has this worked for somebody in their specific scenario? How does this person work? How does this team work? We design the content in a way that looks like organic content versus something that is actually designed to move the needle forward and bring them into this other one up here, which is conversions. This is where we're getting qualified traffic into the website, into the demos, into the landing pages in a way that just supports this entire motion here. I think we have the example from Bob from our previous video. Yeah, like I'll go up here. Where was it? Where is it? Boom. Look at this. Look at this. So you can see that we have all like these keywords: outbound campaigns, scaling outbound, personalized cold email, revenue growth automation. These are AEO, GEO terms that we are now trying to rank for and continually build a strategy around. But all of these are content pieces designed around sales. So look at this one. The secret to scaling outbound without hiring 5 new reps. This is a limiting beliefs. Oh, if we just hire more reps, we'll get more sales. No. We're going to come in here and dismantle that belief and then positions Bob's service as the natural bridge to that specific problem. Same thing over here where let's give me another one. Okay, great. your CRM silent revenue leak, even if outbound works. This is where most I remember this video where we said that most companies think, oh, we'll just get more leads again, we'll turn on, and then we'll get more sales. And Bob says, no. Your CRM, when you're putting leads into your CRM, you have crappy processes, which means that you're leaking deals you didn't even know that you had potential for. Again, naturally bridging to Bob's CRM cleanup service. He doesn't have a service dedicated to CRM cleanup, but he does do that. So you can see how this whole strategy here, and I'll go back to the pyramid, how this whole strategy here works together. We have the keywords, we have Bob's face front and center, we have sales enablement designed to get the conversion. This is huge because it helps direct your marketing in a way that's actually strategic. Now, if you're thinking, okay, hold on, this is a lot of work, this is way too much stuff, slow it down here for a sec. My team helps you build this out in 30 to 45 days to the first launch from the initial call. And we handle everything that we're speaking about in this video. If you want to see how this would work for your business, there's a link below to get in touch with myself or someone on my team. And we're going to walk you through the whole process and how it fits dedicated to your GTM, to your ICP, to your business, to your services, everything tailored to you. And we have this framework that we plug right into your GTM. So use that link below, open a conversation, casual, and we can see if there's a good alignment. Other than that, I hope you're taking notes, and we'll keep it going here on the stage 5, and we'll keep moving forward with this strategy. Okay, so stage 5, branding and channel setup. This is something I almost feel like people forget all the time, like because of AI and the way that people are building websites with AI and the one-pagers and everything fast and easy. We forget that when we go branding out in the marketplace, that it almost like stops. You need to know what are your colors, your fonts, and your logos. What is a professional picture, a biography, a header? What's the thumbnail aesthetic? So that way, again, everything is unified. This all needs to look the same. So going back up to Bob from our previous video that we did, you can see that this looks like RevSync. Now, RevSync just went through a rebrand at the time of this video, so it looks different now. That when we started, everything here was built around the same fonts. Okay, we got the notes of reds, we got the yellows for that contrast. Everything here looks like it's made for a specific channel, builds familiarity, it builds recognition, and this looks professional. It doesn't look like an AI generated thumbnail, or it doesn't look like you paid some guy in the middle of nowhere $5 to make a thumbnail. No, you need to have a cohesive brand image, because if you're charging your prospects 50, 60, 100 grand for a service, make it look like you're worth that. Why would you devalue yourself based on saving a few bucks? Make the branding look good. I've had people tell me my website looks cheap. Guess what I did the next day? I really invested into it and it looks spectacular. Now when prospects land on my site, they go, how long have you guys been in business? Like, where are you from? Where are you from? And that's the power of branding. And the same thing applies when you're on the feed and on the social feed. Okay. So back here, stage 5. Invest in this. I won't spend too much time on branding here because, again, you can do this very simply with just unified colors, pictures, headers, and bios, and a thumbnail aesthetic, and then you can iterate based off that. However, we want to build a cohesive brand image from the start, so just unify these 5 things, okay? Branding, channel setup, make sure it all looks the same. So what you need to understand at stage 6 here is not every content type and content style is the same. There's specific ways in which you make videos in order to pre-sell, pre-qualify, and actually create engagement in your video. Most of the time, people just throw on a camera and start blabbering gibberish, and there's no container around it. And what we do with the types and the styles is it allows us to have a cohesive and productized way to make something creative come to life, okay? So let's start here with all the yellow stuff all the way from answering buyer questions, tutorials. These are what we call content types. So we containerize them in specific categories here, and I'll walk you through each of them very straightforward. So answering buyer questions. This is, again, going back to that mapping of the ICP. What are they constantly asking on sales calls? What are they constantly asking on Google and search terms? How can we answer buyer questions in our videos? Objection handling, same thing. What are our current sales teams hearing every single day? What are our AEs, SDRs? What are they hearing on the phones? What are they hearing on the ground level? How can we bake in objection handling to our videos? Contrarian and myth busting. These are things in your industry that you don't agree with. things that you know are blatantly wrong, but everybody's perceiving to be true. You come in here with a video while everybody's zigging and you're zagging, you're going to stand out and you're going to bring in clicks and you're going to bring in engagement to understand why you think contrarily to the actual thing that's in the marketplace. And then why videos. People don't understand the power of how versus why. Okay, so a great example, again, going back to a GTME firm, let's just say how to create a cold email infrastructure. Not bad, but that's a how-to video. We can come at that same topic from a why angle, why your cold email infrastructure is failing. And the whole video tonality changes. The whole video progression changes because now you're explaining using your expertise and nuance in the industry to explain why something is currently not working, why somebody else is succeeding and you're not. So all of these things are all tailored around shifting beliefs, pre-handling objections, answering those questions to pre-sell and pre-qualify your prospects. And these are really upper funnel topics that bring in eyeballs, that bring in awareness. Okay, moving over here to tutorial walkthrough, framework reveal, and demo success and demo client success and steps taken. This is what you're watching right now. I am taking you through a framework reveal and tutorial walkthrough. I'm showing you all the different stages of building a GTM B2B content infrastructure, and I'm showcasing you, and you're seeing how I'm thinking. You're seeing how we do work. You're seeing the level of nuance and understanding we have in the industry. And when you're able to do these top two here, whether you're in a recruitment or you're a recruitment tech, whether you're SaaS, whether you're in compliance, whether you're RevOps, GTME, you all have frameworks. You all can break down complex topics in the B2B space and explain it using your expertise. When you do that in a way here that is educative, yet subtly not educative at the same time, because you want to pre-sell and pre-qualify, your prospects see how you think, they see how you work, they see how you operate. These are so huge for those specific reasons. The other thing here is demo client success and steps taken. We like to reverse engineer a result. So we just had a client who had, I think I mentioned it in a last video, they brought in $500,000 worth of pipeline in, I think it was a 30-day window for their clients. So rather than just throwing up a client interview and saying, what did you get? What blah, blah, blah. How did that go? Which is good social proof. We say, okay, we've got 500K in pipeline, and then here's how we did it. Here's how we did it. And then you break that down. So it's like a framework reveal or tutorial walkthrough. However, it's demoing the client success. So not only are people seeing how you're building things and what you're doing, they're seeing it generated a real result, $500,000 in pipeline. Crazy number. So these are huge in terms of understanding the different ways to walk people through specific things that you have. Next is tear down, audit, build from the ground up. These are new that we're slightly experimenting with. We're gonna give our clients, even ourselves, we're gonna try this, a made up scenario or a real scenario where we're gonna either tear down, we're gonna audit, or we're going to build from the ground up specific strategies that people are operating with or have nothing in place of. So great example, build from the ground up. We just had a call with a recruitment tech firm, and we said, hey, you guys don't have any content strategy in place. Let me make a video showing how I would build this for you guys. So there's a video, I don't know if I'm going to release before or after this, for Akaza, where we said, or we did all these steps that you're watching right here, and then we just applied it to their specific business. So now people can see, oh, wow. So if somebody from anywhere in recruitment or software comes to our YouTube or our website, they can see me actively build something from the ground up based on their specific scenario. How powerful is that? They're now seeing what is possible from their own business, even if they're starting from zero. Or if we do a teardown or an audit, slight iteration of this version over here, they can see what's wrong in their industry or what's wrong with their specific marketing or their specific content, and then apply this whole thing to your industry. Who can you audit? Who can you either tear down, you get approval obviously first, or what can you build from the ground up? So these are all different content types that we can do. And then the content styles, as we come down here, this is where we got my man Daniel G over here. I just love him. Shout out Daniel if you're watching. But the different video styles allow us to pick which topic or which types of video content suit best the style. So one mistake we made a lot at the beginning of Hive is we just did talking head videos. And they're great. Don't get me wrong. They build trust. They see your face. You're talking. You're shifting perspectives. All that good stuff. However, without breaking down things in real time and showcasing your expertise in real time, like on a Loom or demo style, like you're watching right now, you're missing the mark, because talking head videos can only get you so far. We learned that because they're polished and they're professional and they look good and they're scripted, there's a slight friction in terms of building that trust. It works. However, like this, I'm talking, this isn't scripted. You can see me working in real time and explaining concepts like I know my stuff. So having a mix between talking head and Loom and demo act as that nice intermediary between trust and also showcasing that expertise, and keeping the content variety and diversified. And then over here, same thing with whiteboard. This is building off, like the whiteboard here. This is building off Loom and demo. However, Loom, we can have the assets that we just screen record with. Whiteboard, you're on your own. You're going to draw this out and you're going to explain complex topics. These are really good for retention. You'll see Harmozy do a lot of this stuff. Daniel G, again, this is actually Daniel's video. He's doing the same thing in order to showcase specific frameworks or successes or tutorials or whatever. And then upper funnel content. We won't dive into this today, but that's essentially just explaining concepts that resonate with the broader audience, pulling in eyeballs, and then moving them over to the other different styles that we have. I won't touch on that today too much because we're in the B2B space. We'll talk about these three. So we've clarified the content types and styles, but now you need to understand which videos styles and which video types should actually be together. So these four over here, the answering buyer questions, objection handling, contrarian myth busting, that's really great for talking head. That's just good because you can shift perspectives and just continually talk to answer all of these things. We find that works well there. However, when there's a tutorial, walkthrough, framework, reveal, demo, client success, and steps taken, you need visual aids. You need people to see things. If you say, hey, we generated $500,000 in pipeline and we did X, Y, and Z, people can say, okay, I get it. However, if you're saying, here's how we generated $500,000 in pipeline, step 1, 2, 3, I'm going to show you. And that's really good for this specific type, the Loom or demo, or even whiteboard. That's why they're kind of interchangeable. So content types, content styles, not everything's made the same. Pick your content types and your styles. I would recommend these two formats, and you can do any of these videos. The answering buyer questions, frameworks, tearing from the ground up, mix and match these. Mix and match them. You'll see what works for your audience, and over 3, 6, 12 months of data, you're going to see which ones perform the best. But I would roll through with the talking head, Loom, and demo. We typically do per month 2 of these and 2 of these for our clients, 4 videos total weekly, and you get that nice mix. Okay, so content types, content styles. Stage 7. Now we're getting exciting. Now we're making evergreen video types. So you can see we've got a trailer and an evergreen asset. These are very important for when people land on your YouTube, because the trailer at a high level introduces who you are, what you do, the problem of the marketplace, how you've already served clients in your specific space. Essentially, this trailer is going to be pinned to the top of your YouTube. So when people come into your YouTube, they can see in 2 minutes who you're about, who you serve, everything I just said. That way they don't have to click on specific videos to try and find what you do. No, it's right there in their face. This is one of the first things we do with our clients, is we build the trailer. So we have it all the time. So any new people that come in, or they find us on the feed, or any prospects that come Google us and they find something at the top level, they get a clear understanding of who you are and what you service and how you service. And again, going back to the offering, the message, and conversion funnel refinement, you see that this is all going to have that through line, and that trailer is going to unify it all together at the most high level. Okay, so trailer, this is usually about 1 to 2 minutes. We don't like to go too long. We just like to give people a nice snapshot, first and foremost, about what we are going to be talking about. Okay, evergreen asset as well. This is actually what I'm making right now. So this evergreen asset is you walking through the full suite of the potential of what you can do for a client. So in this case, I'm showing every step on how we onboard and deliver this client a full cohesive B2B marketing strategy, specifically on YouTube. This evergreen conversion asset is usually a little bit longer. Right now, I think we're at about 30-ish minutes. And it's showing all of your expertise. It's showcasing you all of this specific knowledge that will live forever as what I call an evergreen conversion asset. And an evergreen means that it's just going to continually compound month over month, year over year. It's not a trendy topic. It's not something that's a little trend coming out of the cracks on social media. This is built around the keyword, which is B2B content marketing strategy. People are going to be searching for that always. So because it's evergreen means we make it once and it lives forever. And then the conversion asset is because at multiple points, as I'm showcasing all this expertise, not only am I pre-selling prospects and pre-qualifying prospects, which you can do as well, I will gladly and just casually say, by the way, just a checkpoint. If you still want to do this for your company, you have no time, there's a link in the description below. There's a legit link down there that allows us to see how we can build this into your ecosystem, into your GTM, how we can roll this out in 30 to 45 days for you. Click that link below. So I'm continually pushing the conversion. Whether you book or not, great. If you book, awesome. But I know that this video has done a lot in terms of warm up and pre-qualify, because now you spent, if you're still here, over 30 minutes with me. What is that doing in terms of pre-warming and pre-qualifying? This is a very important video that we need to have at the beginning, because it leads into number 8, which is the final stage. And this is where we create the video ecosystem. Very exciting stuff. So as we continue to make videos, let's just say this is week 1, this is week 2, 3, 4, 5, and one video every week. So we're continually pumping out fresh content. We're continually pumping out different perspectives, video styles, video types, all that good stuff. Now, we're going to track it with UTMs to see what's getting clicks, what's getting conversions, what's bringing in the most traffic. Like if we know, okay, based on a UTM for video X, Y, and Z, that B2B content marketing, I'm just going to zoom in there. Let's just say B2B content marketing, that keyword specifically is bringing in the most traffic from our UTMs. Great. We can iterate based off that, and we can continue to double down on that. So the whole ecosystem is tracked, and making sure that we're not just posting content and post content. It's very strategic. But where it gets really important, and this is where the word ecosystem comes into play, is because this evergreen media asset, which is, as you've seen there, everything gets pushed back to that. And what that does, it does a few things that's very important for your business. Number one, if you get somebody that watches this video and they watch all the way to the end, and you say, hey, by the way, if you like this video, click up here and watch this next video, which is going to then link back to this evergreen conversion asset, which is that long process showing the complete strategy and what you do and how you offer things, and continually tell them, hey, book a call, book the next step. You are funneling your traffic from step 1 into step 2. So you are now taking somebody who was cold up here, but who spends, let's say, 15 minutes with you over on this video. And then, you know what? They like it. You made it all the way to the end. Why would you send that person off to another video? No. Click up here, watch this next video. And this next video is where they funnel in all the way, I'm going to put it down here, to a lead or a sale. You're essentially creating your own content ecosystem that's just moving traffic all around back to the main North Star piece of content. And it happens behind the scenes. People don't know this is happening. So a great example here, like let's just say, hey, complete SEO SaaS marketing strategy to appear on ChatGPT Perplexity. In the end of this video, what I would like to say is, if this resonated with you and you want to see how to build out this full, complete ecosystem, and without all the steps, you're gonna fall flat, click this video up here, and I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing. And then that prospect who just watched, how long is this video? 8 minutes. They spent 8 full minutes with me, longer than a 30-second Instagram, TikTok, or Reel. Okay. They're going to go over here and they're going to watch this 30, 40-minute video where I just spit wisdom for the whole time. And we do the same with you. We do the same with all our clients. We look at all these different content pieces month over month, and we just funnel traffic back to the main North Star, and then funnel them into a sale, or funnel them into a traffic or a lead, or whatever that is. So I want to recap here first and foremost. There's 8 stages, and there's so much we do before we actually create content. So all the way up until here, all the way up until stage 7 and 8, This is all strategy. This is why most content fails online and why most content doesn't convert. They don't take the time to engineer their content in the same way they engineer their GTM or their outbound. Overall, these are the 8 stages again. Deep understanding of your ICP, pain points, limiting beliefs, common objections, dream state. Get inside the mind of your prospect. Stage 2, make sure you have a full, cohesive, unified offer and message that goes all the way from YouTube to the landing page to convert at a high level. Number 3 is your credibility engine, making sure you understand your case studies, your projects, what you have done, what results you've generated for your clients. How can you sprinkle that into your content? Step 4, establish your marketing goals. This is huge for the AEO SEO foundation, founder-led brand, sales enablement, and conversions. Your content should be doing all 4 of these things simultaneously. Okay? Step 5 is the branding and channel setup. Don't skip this. This is so important because if you're going to put all this work in, you want to make sure it looks good and makes it look like an actual legitimate business online. Stage 6, selecting content types and styles and understanding the difference between them and when to use specific ones. Okay? Then stage 7, build a trailer that overall tells exactly who you are, what you do, who you service, what problem you solve within 1 to 2 minutes. Give people that fast win so they are prompted to watch the next bunch of videos on your YouTube. And then build this evergreen conversion asset. This is the long explanation of what you do or the potential of what you can bring to a client and show it in real time. Demonstrate this like this video right here. Just walk them all through it. And then number 8 is as you continually put out content, you create this video ecosystem by always linking back to that evergreen conversion asset. And make sure you track everything, folks. Add UTMs or just find ways to make sure you can track what is actually producing results for your marketing. And it could be different for everyone. If you just want extra web traffic, if you just want brand visibility, if you want specifically, I want 2 calls per month or 3 calls per month with highly qualified prospects with YouTube, define what that is and understand that as you do the video ecosystem, you can track specific KPIs based on your goals. So all in all, there is 8 solid stages to go from 1 or A to Z to build a complete content marketing ecosystem for your business, specifically B2B. If you want help with this, because I know this is lots of work, if you want somebody that comes in not as a videographer or an editor to say, I know that we're going to do this 8-step process for you, rinse and repeat, and get it stood up in the next 30 to 45 days for you, use the link in the description below. Just answer a few questions. It'll take you 2 minutes. And I'll show you what that strategy can look like in your business, and that'll open the conversation for us. If you're not ready, not a problem. There's a bunch of videos on our YouTube that you can continually take a look at and understand what we do, how we service it, and what that could do for your business with YouTube video marketing. 2026, 2027, and onward is going to be where modern GTM changes. It's not just cold email. It's not just cold outbound. You need your content inside of your business to help pre-warm and pre-qualify. Because when people check you out online, after you either reach out to them or you give them a call, if they find nothing and they don't see any of this master strategy in place, they're going to bounce to your competitor who does have it. Versus if they just find you cold and they end up in this whole ecosystem before they even book a call with you, how much more likely are they to convert? Understand that modern GTM is where video lives. It's the other silo of sales and marketing, or the other side of sales. So again, open that conversation below, and if not, enjoy the rest of the videos on this YouTube channel, folks. See you soon.